the Bitcoin.
That you what? I didn't hear you.
She went by herself to the Bitcoin embassy and
Wow.
asked them to help her open a wallet. And it's because her husband or partner took all their money and invested it in real estate. And she kept saying, I don't know, I think Bitcoin might be better. And this was 4 years ago. So she went to the embassy and opened her own wallet. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that's it's usually the opposite way around. Like I hate going back to my personal example, but that's the only thing I have really. But my wife would like to say you can't live in a Bitcoin. So
We will talk about
we'll
it.
talk about.
We will talk. This is
Yeah,
exactly our session is
but
about.
let's just see 1 second how if it's working on Facebook. If we're live, yeah, we're.
The lady that owns my ceramic
Oh,
studio.
that's cool. It's like semi-live.
Studio that I take classes.
Cool. And we can start. I think we're recording it. Like whoever joins, joins. Whoever doesn't join is missing out. Whoever's listening to us on Facebook Live can get like a semi picture of what's happening, but they won't really be front and center. So welcome everyone to a very special edition of Coinmama webinars. It's special because we have a lot of data that shows kind of how I think in most countries women make up anywhere between 30-40% of Coinmama users, and that number should be much higher. There's no reason for women not to be 50-50 with men when it comes to crypto, and maybe even more. And why is that so? I don't want to speak any longer because there's a word for that, and that's called mansplaining, and it doesn't go over too well. So we'll give it over to our two special ladies. We can start with you, Jess. You're a special guest. Just tell us a bit about where you're from. How you got started in the space, how you came to become friends with this one over here, what you guys are doing together, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I should start with the best part, which is crypto brought me a new friendship with Esfir. Basically, hi, I'm Jess. I'm from New York. I currently work at Good Dollar, which is where I met Esfir. And the funny thing about that is I started working at Good Dollar and I still thought that crypto was for human traffickers and drug dealers. Like I had no idea what this product I was supposed to be marketing was for. I come from the world of social impact and nonprofits. I actually used to sell condoms across the developing world. Um, and that was an awesome job because I traveled a lot, and I ended up in Israel 3 years ago and ended up working at Good Dollar, which is it's a really cool project. I don't know if I want to start the introduction with Good Dollar because I can talk about it forever. But that's where I met Esfir. And Esfir was the third woman to join, fourth woman to join. We were a team of 10, mostly developers and very techie guys. So it was nice to have Esfir on the team, and she really helped me understand what is this world that we're living in right now, like what is going on, and also it's okay to not know what's going on. Esfir was like really one of the first people on the team besides my mentor and boss, who's also a woman, Anna, to ask questions. So I'm really excited that we finally are doing this podcast or this webinar or whatever, because that's been my biggest pain point is being able to ask questions about crypto, because I don't have any of the answers. I have some. I love asking more questions. So I'm gonna throw it off to you, Esfir.
Before we get to the sphere, I wanted to ask, where's this? I wanted to ask if you guys knew what the girl version of a bromance was. Like, I was thinking about it. Like, I don't think there's
The girl version of what?
a bromance. Like, if like you guys, it's like a cute bromance, but it's not a bromance. It's sisters. So I think, Jess, it's super interesting, the whole like social impact thing, and we'll get back to that because Elon Musk, not Elon Musk, someone from the World UN, well, that deals with hunger over there. He said that Elon Musk gives 2% of his wealth to charity will solve world hunger. So, like, that kind of billionaires are getting kind of vilified, and I think it's a lot what's putting them into crypto. But after Esfir tells us a bit about herself, maybe we can segue into what you do at Good Dollar, what you believe is the potential for crypto in. Hold on, someone's talking here. What do you believe the potential for crypto in everything to do with social impact is, and what do you think of that? Like Elon Musk giving 2% of his wealth to stopping hunger. Like, is that viable? Is that something that we can, see in the next few years? Billionaires giving more of their share.
I'm gonna actually stop you for a second, Juju, and tell you why. I think it's important that we go into introductions on a personal level first.
Yeah.
Like, hi, I'm Jess. I got into crypto a year and a half ago, right before the pandemic. On my learning journey, I had Esfir, and Esfir, I think you should tell your story of how you learned about crypto, because what we've learned from like the different meetups that we're going to is women that want to learn about crypto need to connect some way to what is crypto, and not just what is crypto, but like what is blockchain. So I think, Esfir, you should tell your introduction and your story, and then I'm so happy to go into social impact and Web3 and all that good stuff. But
yeah, for sure. Intros first.
Yeah.
Always.
Cool. So, hi, I'm Esfir. I'm a product manager for almost 8 years now. I came to blockchain in 2018, and I was lucky enough to be working at Bancor, which was one of the most innovative companies in the field of cryptocurrency and blockchain. And I knew a little bit about crypto before, but it was really scary. It sounded like something that only if you're like a super tech developer guy, you can go into. And at this point, I was like a single mom with a little kid, and I was like, no way I'm going to go into it. And I was just amazed by the idea of blockchain. It took me like 5 minutes to be blown away. First of all, from the philosophy of blockchain, from empowering community, and from all the ways and all the opportunities you have on it. And basically, not long after, I was just trying to figure out what kind of other women in this space is there that I can ask them like questions, or I can discuss it. Pretty much after I came to Bancor, I noticed that there are a lot of communities, but most of them are only for guys. So, and I was feeling really not comfortable to ask questions that was pretty, it was stupid for them, but it was new for me. So I think that my journey started there with trying to figure out what is the best way to learn and what is the best way to understand the crypto audience. As I said, I'm a product in this field. So in the last couple of years, I was really into digging every little information I have about user behavior, about the audience, about how can we really simplify this experience to be relevant to all of the users. And it was quite a journey till this day. And I can tell you that every day, and I'm not kidding, every day still I'm learning something new. So this is my take on who I am and what is my background in this field.
Where's the noise coming from? Well, that was super interesting. Thank you. I think we'll go into, I mean, the whole human-centric aspect of it soon, because I think, again, with the risk of mansplaining, I think one thing that women can bring to the table is it's very generalized, very generic, but if women tend to be a more integrative and more think more about the human aspect of things, as opposed to men are more machine-like in some way. So crypto is very machine-like at the moment. So maybe you guys can touch on, like, how do we get mass adoption through creating products that people will use, not taking it away from it's very niche right now. Like, you need a lot of industry specific knowledge to interact with 90% of the applications in crypto. So how do you take it from where it is now to a stage where grandma can open up an app and have it very simplified for her, and do something that actually contributes to her well-being?
Can I answer? Give my take on it?
Wait, really quickly, Dudu, can
Yeah.
you unpin my face?
Yeah, unpin your face. Sorry, I'll unpin your
Your
face. I did it for this when you spoke, but it's
So I have a really quick take on your question. Basically, a report that was done last year examined the barriers women have and men have when they want to enter to the crypto world. And what they found, that men, 50% of men who said they don't want to come to crypto said because it was too dangerous. And 85% of women said they didn't know where to begin and they don't have who to ask. So if we're talking about how can we change it and how can we become this place like a safer place for women across the globe in this field, I think that the first thing we should do is to create a safe place for women to ask all the questions they need and to get all of the support they actually need to be really informative about their actions. So this is like number one. And number two, don't forget that crypto is, it's the new money, but also in the money, you have a huge gap. Like from,
talking about money.
Yeah, talking about money. Like I just read that according to the Global Gender Gap Index, a report on the display of men and women across 149 countries across the globe, it's an economical forum found that nearly 40% of the women don't have any access to any bank account. It's crazy. But you know what? They do have, most of them, they do have phones and they do have internet, meaning they do have an option to be connected to the crypto. They just don't know how. And this is like a really painful point because it can really, really change all of their life, independency, literacy, education-wise, to help their families. And it's as easy as just clicking on an app.
Yeah, I think you said yes. When we sat, you told us about like another study that showed that they did like some sort of UBI and they gave it to women, and the woman managed to like, if they gave some of it they gave to men, some of it they gave to women, like in the families and the woman, the households where the woman had to control how the UBI was spent. They showed higher metrics in literacy
and education for the kids, education for the families, and basically in an overview of 15 years later on, they really show a better numbers in terms of every household. So yeah, it's crazy that until this day, women are afraid of financial instruments, which is even crazier that it happens because nobody thinks about giving them the proper literacy. It's really as simple as that.
Yeah.
we say it's simple, but like
Yeah, of course.
financial literacy, it's like solving poverty, right? Like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
But I think it's interesting to acknowledge the kind of like economic behaviors of women without a Western perspective. Like and I'm thinking back to my work at PSI, which is where I would travel East, West, South Africa. Women are actually the financial, like they're the wallet of the family. Women work and they give their boyfriend or partner or husband, whatever, they give him money. I'm talking about an example in Kenya, and he goes and he does gambles on sports and goes and whatever. Women are the micro entrepreneurs in those type of societies, and now we have the digital technology to match their like behaviors as providers for their kids. But how do you unlock that, right? Like, yes, you need a phone, you need an internet connection, you need to know, right? You need literacy, you need education. And that's a really big challenge if we think about all the products that we're designing now. Coinmama, Good Dollar, which I think are more diverse than other projects in this space, in terms of having women sit at the table and give their voice too. Because otherwise, and this is what I said do when everyone got a little, I guess I hit a soft spot. I strongly believe that the future of crypto marketing cannot be based on memes. We need to develop much better ways of transcending information about crypto that's not pixelated whale, you know? That's not teaching anyone any lessons. You're not going to get the other 50% of society if you keep designing JPEGs. Like, we need to think about how we're trading value and trading information. And the 50% that we're missing right now is a very big hole to
Look,
fill.
I'll take, we'll go back to the woman issue now, but I kind of have to disagree with you on that one, because I think a meme, like Richard Dawkins, who's the guy who coined the term, and he gave an example of a meme is to culture what a gene is to biology. So just like a gene is like a one little unit that can replicate, that can pass through, it can pass through like generations, DNA, and then it can kind of merge with other strands and replicate and evolve. The same thing with a meme. A meme is the way we get, like, money is a meme. It's a piece of information. My friends always joke at me when I say that, but it's a piece of, when we say dollars, most of the time we're just talking about dollars. We're not actually exchanging any physical thing. We're just exchanging this piece of information around us, and it's getting more, it kind of evolves as it goes along. So I think memes is the way forward. What kind of memes? I agree with you on the pixelated whale. I think the problem with crypto today is it's too like much of a closed, and we come back to our women conversation, it's too much of a closed niche. It's like all these acronyms, NGMI and WAGMI. Does anyone know what that means? We'll go on our glossary soon.
I had to Google it.
Yeah.
And
So, but I only found out a week ago what that means. NGMI means not going to make it. If your friend tells you about some shit coin that they bought and it's useless, you're off NGMI. You're not going to make it. And WAGMI is we are going to make it. That's for the people who are holding.
I didn't know
the people.
that.
You see, so that's like the close, like close knit, very niche specific memes around Bitcoin and crypto. I think that could be opened up a little bit more, like to a wider variety of
I have
memes.
to say, I have to say that we do see an increased number of women in the crypto. It's just it's not enough yet. And also in Coinmama, we have like a really good number of about 30%. In general, it's 20%. And when I came to crypto, I swear it was like 1 to 2%. And it wasn't like long ago, it was like 4 to 5 years ago. So we seeing a really good increase per every year, but it's still not there. And yeah, I agree that there is like the feeling of a really close club that you cannot be a part of and you cannot understand it. And it's an issue. It's an issue of being a woman and going. And I have to tell you also now it's changed, but I'm thinking about my first jobs. I was one of like, it was like in Bancor, basically we were 3 women in a company of 80 men or even more. So it's not only changing in terms of the audience, it's also changing in terms of the women who are building the visions and who are building the projects. And we do see like the simplification of a lot of products. We do see a lot of audience who is trying to be more clear and trying to educate, but it's a really deeper issue. It's even in a way deeper than crypto. We're talking like about one of the most deepest issue in the history of mankind. You know, like 100 years ago, I wasn't allowed to vote in like most of the countries.
Yeah, it's here. I think we need a rebrand here. It's not an issue, it's an opportunity. And
Yeah,
you and
I
I
agree.
talk about this all the time. It's not,
I agree.
it's
There's no discrimination in the metaverse. You'll be
unless you need it.
unless you make a misogynistic, chauvinist metaverse, and then no one will buy from your NFTs because you'll get cancelled. So
You're triggering me right now, dude.
financial advice: if you're making a metaverse, make sure it's gender inclusive, and
Yes.
even better, have no genders. It's just avatars. So it's like a transhumanist reality. Yeah.
I was
I
saying what
do.
we're talking about right now is like gibberish for a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of my friends. Like
Yeah,
the
that's true.
conversations
So
we're
maybe you want to elaborate a bit about kind of what a metaverse is. We were talking about it the other day. Like,
So that's your favorite topic.
it's one of my favorite topics. It's becoming my favorite topic. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, metaverse is, the typical explanation. It's the sum total of all the worlds, both physical and created and digital imaginative. So, World of Warcraft is a metaverse. Your Facebook is a metaverse. Your in different games, in different social networks, you might interact differently. You might be Jessica Salam on Facebook, and you might be Crypto Queens 678 on Discord, and and you might be some Princess Zelda in a fighting game, and all these kind of personas interact and can transfer value, and there's a lot of interoperability between these universes, and metaverse will take us to our next topic. Before we get to, we have a question from the audience, which is NFTs. So, like, NFTs is probably the word on everyone's lips, and NFTs allow you to essentially create. They allow you essentially to create digital artwork, digital collectibles, anything that's unique that can be represented on the blockchain and can essentially hold value. Some of the most widely traded NFTs are worth upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the people who bought those NFTs, some crypto punks is one example, bought 8 Yacht Club. They're now like, the overlords, the senators of the crypto space. So, if you have a game and you have a crypto punk that's, part of your community and influencing your game, that's a very big deal for you. So these NFTs, metaverse, it's all heading in it should be the next kind of $1 trillion industry. Mark Zuckerberg just opened up, Facebook just opened up 10,000 jobs in Europe to build the metaverse. It also involves immersive technologies like VR and AR, and imagine like the dolphin NFT that you bought is a hologram that pops up when you go to the beach. So all these kind of
it's already live and existing. Yeah, we don't really need to imagine it. You already have it. You can go right now to some galleries and to watch an NFT art with a VR. you already have also projects of NFT, which I showed you yesterday, basically AI NFT. It's called I NFT, with like built-in AI, and you can train them. You have avatars, you have all these kinds of NFTs, and it's amazing. And I think that we are at the point of the NFT is really proved the POC of it, and we're seeing it as a huge feature, a huge part of the crypto. And I wanted to say that we are also, I think we'll see much more women coming in because of the NFT, hopefully. Because it's more simplified, the art, the gamification. I see more designers in it now. It's taking now to a total different direction, which will be, again, a total different in 3 years from now. It's really interesting, like, to think or even to imagine where it could be. Because it basically, it's taking all of our lives and making it virtual on the blockchain. Like this project Earth 2, you can buy it's an NFT. You can buy like a place on Earth, on the duplicate Earth, and it's yours. So it's really, really interesting.
And it's just the beginning, and everyone has a role to play. That's what I keep telling my friends. Like, oh, you're a designer, get a job for a crypto company. Like, they're hiring. You're a content writer, awesome. That's because that was for me, like, my entry into crypto. I wouldn't have learned anything about I don't know what the push for me would have been to learn it unless I was forced to. But there are a ton of ways to learn also, to like build those skills to understand what Esfir just said. Because it's a journey, understanding that we are moving towards this metaverse where we need to claim our assets and create who we are going to, how we represent ourselves in this metaverse. I know it sounds crazy, but it takes months to like really kind of wrap your head around that. That's why memes, I think, are so intimidating, because they're like an inside joke. Yeah. Like, everyone's laughing at this meme about a coin with a dog on it, but I don't get it. So this is learning. Esfir and I will just keep saying literacy, education, learning. I'll also say community, like stick with the people that you know and trust and that you wanna learn from, and ask those questions. Ask what is a metaverse? Ask what is an NFT? How do I make an NFT? How do I open a wallet? Like, these are all normal questions. Ask them, and people want to unbank you.
Yeah, we got a question about like how women could break into the crypto world. I'm gonna assume that, we just gave a whole, bunch of tips on how to break into it as sort of an observer or a participant. I'm gonna kind of want to take the question to you guys a bit further. How do you break into it professionally? Like, I've got my own opinions about this, but I'm sure that maybe the woman's experience is a little different. So what are like maybe some steps that you could advise for some young woman coming out of college? They want to get into crypto. There's unfortunately in Israel at the moment, there aren't as many. Crypto isn't as big a space as it can be, as it should be, with all the brain power and all the raw materials that we have, because of a banking monopoly and old school mindset that we have. But that's around for a different day. So with all those challenges in mind, like, how would you advise someone to get involved?
Esfir, you want to take this one?
Yeah. So first of all, there is some basic information that I think women should learn in a really, really basic way, like over the web, just, just to start her journey. Okay. And to start it, she needs to think about which coin, just one, just to try to use it. It doesn't need to be a big amount. It can totally be shit coins. I started with shit coins. Everybody's laughing at me, but I love shit coins. I love playing with it. And it's not scary also for me to do it because it's not much to risk $50. Okay. It's not like risking 5K. And the second thing is basically to find a community. Can be on the social, can be in the college, can be on Telegram, can be on WhatsApp, can be just to find a community, a safe place. This woman could really ask questions and to receive some kind of guidance to really go deeper with the information. Because on the internet, you have tons of information, really. Like I could spend years just reading the information I have on Google about every, you until now you have probably 6,000 coins. It's crazy. So much information, so many projects, so many new blockchains. So you can really go. I know a lot of people, not just women in general, who are going really lost in all of this information. It's really scary. So I think to try to think about one coin you want to explore, or an NFT you want to explore, which is also really cool, and to find a community that could support you, and you can ask questions and you can really try it. You can send money, you can receive money, you can, like when we were kids, we get money from our parents, right? Like, I don't know, I was getting, 50 shekels, I think, for a month. So I was trying it. I was learning the feeling of buying, of getting back. It's exactly the same process. Okay, just feel it on small amounts first and find your safe place. And this is like my tip for women across the globe. And I think that it also answers, hopefully, Shlomit's question about the lack of literacy, education, and communities for women. Jess, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I would just add like read as much as you can, watch as much as you can on YouTube. And I hate that I almost hate that I'm giving, that's my advice that I'm giving, because that's the advice I got. And I was so frustrated by it. I was like, well, read what? What do I watch? Right. But you kind of have to go through that rabbit hole to find the part to understand like what about decentralized finance or crypto trading or blockchain, digital identity, all that, where you're drawn to, and that'll take you on like the real rabbit hole. And it's the feeling, Esfir backed me up on this, that moment when you have that like aha moment of, wow, the world as we know it is changing forever and it's happening now, is the coolest feeling in the world.
Yeah. So exciting. And I have to say something which is really important for me to say. And I don't have enough of words or enough to say it, but we're only in the beginning. Okay. A lot of people feeling that they don't want to come now because the Bitcoin is too high, or no, we're only literally in the beginning we just finished the actual POC. Okay, we're now starting to build the products on blockchain.
Here.
The what?
The POC.
The POC, yeah.
No, explain it, see?
The POC, sorry. Proof of a concept is the POC. We just now proved that blockchain is here to stay, and it's going to be a really big, huge part of everyday life. And we are just now realizing it. So it's really, really exciting. It's a great period for all of us to be here. And it's only the beginning. It's not too late. Go in. Like every woman here in the webinar, go in, study, learn, play with it. Get your independence, get your knowledge.
Yep.
I think
Start
I'll add one more thing before segues to my next question. The community, like you guys mentioned it a few times, and I'm seeing now with all this growth in NFTs, like there's an NFT going live every day. The art part of it, there's some good artists out there, but essentially the art part of it involves drawing a few different elements and then having a computer combine those elements randomly. So you can draw maybe 20 elements and combine them in different ways and get 10,000 NFTs. So that's not, the art isn't what separates different NFT projects. Most of the tech is simple. It's an ERC 721 token. It's pretty simple to upload. OpenSea lets you do it without knowing any code. So it's not the tech. What separates NFT projects is the community, the ability to get people together around a shared story, keep them engaged at all times through funny stuff, banal stuff, and more serious stuff, through getting them excited about a roadmap and about keeping them on their toes and hyping up the project founders and all these skills that aren't necessarily tech skills. Like if you're in a college and you were head of a sorority or whatever, or if you headed up some sort of cultural club and you got it to grow by a few members in the year and you kept it engaged and people, oh, I love your club, and they came, that put you in a good space to kind of to sap up one of the most I would say most sought after jobs right now in the crypto space. NFT community manager. There's every single day a new project is launching, and they all need community managers, people who are and those community managers can then grow with the projects. And the better you are at kind of bootstrapping and accelerating communities, the more value you can add like across the crypto space, and communities join up with communities to make meta communities. So on that subject, I wanted to hear a bit about your guys' specific women's collective, crypto collective. Maybe what you've done, what's your vision, how you see 2022 playing out. I think we have a golden opportunity to capitalize and make actual gains, not just in our portfolios.
Yeah, I think 2022 is going to be a lot of fun in terms of what Esfir and I have been thinking a lot and talking with. I see a few of you on the call that know this idea that's been brewing for a while, which is let's get together, let's have some wine, let's open our digital wallets, let's think of a project to do together, let's invite there are some incredibly intelligent women in this field that are, not only are they smart, but they're the only female in the room, or they started with as the only female in the room. So that, like, they're trailblazers in this field. Tel Aviv actually is a big city for a lot of people working in crypto. So let's all get together. Like let's build this community. Where I think we kind of changed names, but that the idea behind it is to get women that are that want to learn more about what is crypto, what is blockchain, in a way that actually works for us, in the way that we want to learn.
Yeah, and basically to give the safe place that we didn't have. Like me and Jess used to we
cry
really hard, cry, throw things, tantrum attacks, whatever you want was there in the learning process of adopting a crypto. And it was long and it was hard. And basically, we just want to create a safe place for women across who would like to join and to guide you to your way to the onboarding to crypto and to give you some taste of new projects and new NFTs and about how can you really gain more. It's free. It's really from like empowerment and really to give back what we didn't have to get really a better opportunities for women. And I think it's crucial. I think having money, and I think that knowing money and playing with money and the new money is crucial.
I'm inviting your mom, Esfir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Everyone.
when's this going down? I'm happy to. I want to help plan it. Like we need a. I'm very passionate about making Israel into like a blockchain nation. I think Bitcoin nation. It's
We're
in our
not far
destiny.
away, I think.
We're not. We have the raw materials. We just don't have buy-in from regulation, governments. Like there's no higher level thinking, a strategic objective that this is vital for our country's future. And once that happens, and there's it becomes easier for crypto companies to open a bank, and then it becomes then there's all these different funds like science funds that the government funds to invest in crypto companies, and there's benefits, and there's they try and encourage whatever. That's when Israel wants sets mind to something, we get it done, and we have those raw materials. We have all the top cryptographers in the world are here. The top marketing people that need to sell this new product are here. Israelis love to interact with cool new technology, so it's all here. And I think it starts with women. So I think it starts with your guys' women's only event. Well, it's not women's only, but it's a women's event, which means we'll get more guys than women.
Yeah, it's designed. Yeah, actually, it's designed in like the first round only for women. We really want this place to be safe in terms of the questions, in terms of the feeling, in terms of everything. So yeah, it's gonna be at least at first. And Jess is gonna drop a link to like a form, which if anyone wants, you can just give your details and we will contact you about our.
Actually, I'm not gonna drop the link because I don't have the link. But
So abort the mission. She's not.
It's been a really crazy day. I don't have the link, but you need to be registered, right, to join the Zoom. You have everyone's email,
Yeah.
Okay, so I will
registered. I've got emails, so we can send them a follow up to come to wherever you guys are hosting, whatever.
Check your.
We'll have a massive turnout of women, empowering them to great power. What did you tell me the last thing about who told me about fishing, and she was about the woman, like, what was that saying? It was if you teach a boy, he'll learn. You know that saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was told to me. It was told to me. It's not my sentence, but it was something like, if you teach a boy, he will learn. If you teach a girl, she would educate the whole city or village, something like that. So yeah, and on like, if anybody has even any question, even before the event, feel more than free, just contact me, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. We're really here to give whatever we can to other ladies in this field. So feel free.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Fun.
Me too.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. That was an epic episode, and I learned a lot, and I feel very passionate about the subject, because you guys clearly are very passionate about the subject.
Yes,
And yeah, I think we need allies. How to make social impact with this technology. I think let's end off with that. Good dollar. You guys met their social impact. Like, what's the potential for crypto in that particular niche?
good
Oh,
question, Shira. We can like
Great
talk
question.
about it for 8 hours, me and Jess. But I'm gonna give Jess the stage to
I
give
was
her.
just writing, but I actually sent it to you, Dudu. Everyone should go right now or right after this, gooddollar.org, because it's literally free crypto. So if you don't have a wallet yet, that can be your first wallet. And what does that mean? I'll backtrack. Good Dollar was founded 2 years ago by the CEO and founder of eToro, Yoni Asia, with the vision that there is enough money in the world to pay for a digital basic income. If a JPEG is sold for $80 million the other day, I think that's a good indication of how much money and value we actually have, so that no one lives on $2 a day. And now we have this technology to build a better distribution system of value, and that's Good Dollar. So Good Dollar is the Good Dollar Foundation is advocating for a global basic income, which is actually the Good Dollar crypto token that you can claim, that anybody with access to the internet and a smartphone can claim, because there are a lot of barriers to making that jump and purchasing your first crypto. You need a government document. You need a credit card. You need you need to be in some bank in order to then be unbanked or digitally banked. And for 1.8 billion people in the world that don't have access to financial services, that's a problem. So that's Good Dollar. Good Dollar is on the mission to build this open source protocol, build the good DAO, the governance system. So like the real community of people that want to, that are trying to enter the digital economy. But the really cool thing about Good Dollar is that there's how do you support Good Dollar? Where does the money come from? You can through staking. So by staking your crypto into the Good Dollar trust, you are generating digital basic income for limitless people around the world, but you're also doing well for yourself because you are investing with your crypto. So that's Good Dollar. And if you are working in the social impact space, or you're interested about global issues and want to talk, I can talk about it for hours. So please ping me. I'd be happy to chat.
Yeah, and we're seeing in the last couple of 2 years huge amount of projects going to the social cause around the globe, if it to help with food, if it's to help with making our planet greener. And you really see it popping everywhere, and it's amazing. And I think that we're going to see it even more in our like really upcoming future.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. Have
Thank
a
you.
great rest of your day. Jess, peace out. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Say
Thanks,
hi to
Jess.
everyone at Good Dollar for me. I mean at Coinmama.
Bye.
Thank you, Dudu, for having us.
Bye bye.
Bye.